Simple. Why are young Nigerians shipping out to other parts of the world? Where are they shipping out to? Better environments, developed economies. Good.
My apologies, Dr. Adeyemi. My sincere apologies. You said this leadership thing we have to have a vision. The question is how? Please don't answer that question yet, because we have a generation of people coming behind us. You, Dr. Additional, and a number of people are saying young people are not liabilities, they are assets. But then, as we all know, it seems that everyone is disillusioned. Who will come up with the vision that they will line up behind? That's the question that you would answer, please, when we return from this break. Do stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Dr. Sam Adeyemi is still with us this morning. Strategic leadership consultant joins us from the USA. Well, so you may want to take that question on now in the light of a decentralized system, a highly disillusioned population, a population of young people that have little or no hope in the country. Everyone wants to get out at the next opportunity. How do we come up with a vision that everyone, particularly young people, the largest demography in the country, would buy into and carry on by themselves?
Thank you so much, Ayam. During our commercial break, hope was rekindled in my heart just watching the commercials, seeing that there's a program, the Democracy 101.5, seeing that we have a conference like the platform coming up and so on. You see, when change begins, it is people that are strategic that catch it on the fringes before it overruns everything. Most people continue with their lives normally thinking that nothing is changing. Honestly, the change has begun. I'll tell you, for example, so talking about the vision thing, right? The vision issue. It's vision actually that makes the heart of a leader. If you take vision out of a leader, there's nothing left. Because someone defined vision as simply moving people from point A to point B. If there's no movement, if there's no improvement, there's absolutely no leadership. And the thing that you sell, you communicate, that makes people willing to go with you from point A to point B is that vision. It's that picture of a better future. You ask, who is supposed to create it? It always starts with individuals. And remember what I said, leadership happens at all levels. Once we abdicate that responsibility for being leaders, we keep empowering the people that have power already. If they are not willing, to change things, then we're stuck. I'm saying it starts with us as individuals. I have had the vision of a developed Nigeria now for some 2 decades. In fact, I became so convinced about it that in our office, we took pictures from developed parts of the world, did some editing, right? Took out the names of other countries, the names of others, their streets, put the names of our own streets in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. And those pictures look like what Nigeria would look like in the future. Now, what's the next thing a leader does? You communicate that vision, you share it. So right now, the younger people have tools. We have tools now that were not around 25, 30 years ago. We have social media. Your phone right now is your own radio station. It's your TV station. You can push out your message. So it needs to be bottom up and top down. There are amazing people in government who have vision for a developed Nigeria. They need to speak up. Just occupying a position is not enough. They need to leverage their position to speak up. If I was a governor, I would address my state every Sunday evening or Monday. It may be 5 minutes, but I would sell the idea of development. If I was president of Nigeria, I would address the nation every Sunday evening or every Monday, right? Okay, I'm not the president of Nigeria, but I'm the president of my house. So I have social media, platforms, and I can share my ideas from there. I'm asking right now, everyone is to use their imagination, see that new Nigeria, and begin to adjust your own life, to that new Nigeria, that developed Nigeria. I studied engineering. When you want to construct a house, what do? You start with a vision. You must have an idea of what you want to construct, and you tell the architect, they help you to draw it out. But before you draw that blueprint, what do? You identify your needs. What do Nigerians need? We're different, we're diverse. So we need to provide for, we need to accommodate everybody's interests in creating that developed Nigeria. I would say at the level of government, we need to have that national discussion. That's the starting point, right? As individuals, we need to hold those pictures of a developed Nigeria, and then we need to come together. If we will ask the current administration at all levels, nothing else, the one thing we need to ask for is that discussion. We need to agree on where Nigeria is going. If somebody tells me, I want my life to change, I want my finances to change, the first question I will ask them, who do you want to become? And you need to have a benchmark. Have somebody who is achieving something close to it already that you will benchmark against. Who do we want to become as Nigerians? That's a big question right now, and we need to all discuss that.
Pastor Sam, you make it sound so simple, and many Nigerians listening to you will wonder, yet, why is it so difficult? Bukola here, good morning, sir. I'd like to look at it from a more expansive point of view, bearing Africa in mind. And, junta leader in Guinea had cause to address the UN General Assembly just days ago. And here's what he said to world leaders unabashedly. He said, Africa is suffering from a governance model that has been imposed on it, a model that is good and effective to the West, but is difficult to adapt to our realities, our customs, and environment. It is time to stop lecturing us and stop treating us with condescension like children, he said, adding that Africans were mature enough to design their own models of governance. And, I'd like to know what your deductions from this, are. Bearing in mind also, part of the groundswell of support that is trailing coups in the western belt of Africa, saying that, Africa is better off with benevolent dictators like, the Rwandan president and, others reminiscent of Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso. How do you weigh in on this, Pastor Sam?
Thank you so much, Bukola. Now, those submissions are fantastic. I agree with them to the extent that the people in the western part of the world don't really understand African culture. I said earlier on, leadership is moving people from point A to point B. If my point A is not your point A, you actually don't know where I'm supposed to start from. You won't be able to design the path for me to get to point B. That's if that's really your desire. The average person in the Western world does not know what it means to have power cut 10 hours, 12 hours, 20 hours a day. They have no idea what it means to go down to the river to use buckets to fetch water on your head. They have no idea. They have no idea. When they say shower, it's really shower. In our own part of the world in Africa, the way most people have shower is you fetch the water in a bucket, you scoop it with a bowl, you pour the water on your head. That's your shower. So they honestly cannot design solutions for us because they don't even understand where we're coming from. However, when it comes to solutions, you spoke about the coups and the military coups, and that takes me back to the issue of culture. I'll point out one thing. In Africa, whether it is military, monarchy, democracy, or even theocracy, it's the same result. I'm not excited about the coups simply because, not because I hate the military or everybody keeps saying, oh, democracy is the best form of government. No, I don't go with all those mantras. That's why I went to school to study leadership. The underlying thing that undergirds everything is that culture where leaders are not accountable, where the person that is leading is too powerful for you to control. It doesn't work with human nature. So we need to create